Happy Friday, everybody. Bob Rankin, Northeast Funding. Welcome to Lunch and Loan. This is Michelle Delgadio from Northeast Funding. Hey, it's almost Veterans Day, so we're going to talk about veteran loans, VA loans, and how they can benefit you. Michelle's been with us for about 10 years. She's our senior loan processor in charge of making sure loans go smoothly. Michelle, do you have any VA loans you're working on right now?
Yeah, currently we have MAT in progress.
Purchase, correct?
Yes, purchase.
MAT's a great example. A lot of times on VA loans, people think it's very difficult to qualify for a VA loan. I have to have a down payment. I have to have excellent credit. Actually, none of that is true. The benefit of a VA loan is 100% financing, where you can even finance your closing costs. Now, credit score-wise, you've got to have a credit score of at least 580 or above. Well, what happens if you have a credit score that's not high enough? What do we do, Michelle?
We can pull a credit expert to see what we can do to help you out with your credit.
And what does that do?
That tells us a situation of what we need to do in order to get your credit up. So paying down a credit card, removing a late payment from a credit card, things like that to help you with your credit.
Now, do we charge people a fee to do that?
No.
It's the way we try and help people. It's not about gouging people or taking advantage of them. As a matter of fact, you never pay us a penny. All of our compensation is paid through the lender, called lender-paid compensation. VA loans are not just for purchases either. They're for refinances, debt consolidation, home improvement loans. We did a loan 3-4 months ago for somebody in Saratoga. What was his name?
Is that Casey?
Casey.
Yeah.
What did we do for Casey?
We helped him with a debt consolidation loan to help him lower his monthly payments.
Lowered his monthly payments and pulled out additional money to renovate his home. Now here's one for you. Casey's Army. His dad was Navy. So it doesn't matter what branch of the military you're in, the VA loan will cover you. Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force, whether you're National Guard. That's all part of the Veterans Program. So if you're looking to buy a home, you're looking to refinance a home, you're having challenges, we have answers for those challenges. For example, on an appraisal, Michelle, are there any special things that are required in an appraisal for a VA loan?
No.
So basically just a pest inspection and make sure no peeling paint, which is what you'd want to make sure of anyway. Does a veteran need a down payment?
No, 100% financing.
Well, that's on a purchase. What about a refinance?
Nope.
Did you hear that? 100% financing on a VA refinance loan. You have a home, you've been in the home 10 years. You owe $150,000 on the house. You need some renovations done in the basement or the bathroom or the kitchen. Allows you to borrow up to that the appraised market value to accomplish the needs you want to have. Now, people are always concerned about mortgage insurance. I don't want to pay mortgage insurance. Is there mortgage insurance on a VA loan?
No.
Remember, mortgage insurance protects the bank in the event you default on the loan. But on the Veterans Program, you're not paying any monthly mortgage insurance at all. So that's a great program for you. You have a VA loan, you've had it for 10 years. Interest rates are a lot lower still than they've been 10 years ago. You have a veterans loan, you've been there for 5 or 6 years. It may behoove you to refinance that to lower your payment. But what if you bought a home 6 years ago and you bought it on a conventional loan or an FHA loan? That interest rate is higher. But now you have your VA benefits. It may behoove you to do what they call an IRL, a VA refinance, to go into a VA loan from your current loan and again eliminate the mortgage insurance and eliminate any debt you might have to go along with that. So a VA loan is a great way to go. Veterans, we thank you for your service. If there's any questions you can have, Northeast Funding is more than happy to answer your questions. Whether we do your loan or you go through somebody else, it's more important that you really understand all of your options available out there. Michelle, do you deal with veterans through the entire process?
Yes.
So they're not dealing with multiple people?
No, just myself.
What do you see some of the biggest fears veterans have with trying to qualify for a loan?
Their credit score might be too low, or they don't have the money to put down, things like that.
And you're able to walk them through the process?
Oh, absolutely.
At Northeast Funding, it's always been about making sure you understand your options. It's making sure that you're not dealing with somebody different all the time, that you're dealing with the same loan processor or the same loan originator through the entire process to make you comfortable with what you're going through. So again, any questions regarding a VA loan, feel free to reach out to us. Another loan program very similar to a VA loan, the USDA, called the USDA Department of Rural Housing Preservation. It does not mean you're going to get a steak or produce. It's about buying a home. USDA is a loan program designed to build up the rural communities. And people say, Bob, I don't want to live in the boonies where they play banjos, and I understand. But a VA loan could be Ballston Spot, Burnt Hills, Voorheesville, Gainesville, Brunswick, Averill Park, Rotterdam Junction, Duanesburg, Delanson. The USDA loan allows you to buy a home with 100% financing with no money down. Do you do many VA loans, Michelle?
USDA?
USDA?
Yes.
There's your blooper.
Yeah, we do a lot of USDA loans.
What's the benefit of a USDA loan?
100% financing. If the appraisal comes in higher than the purchase price, you can include all your closing costs. It's a great program.
Is it only for first-time home buyers?
No.
So basically, if I could have owned 4 or 5 other homes, as long as it's my primary residence, I can get a loan for that?
Absolutely.
Is it a higher interest rate?
No.
Is the VA loan a higher interest rate than a conventional loan?
No.
So basically, the government-insured loans are a lower interest rate than conventional loans.
Absolutely.
Proof is in the pudding. 100% financing. You can finance all of your closing costs. The average USDA loan we do, people are getting into the home with $1,000 approximately or less. It's a great loan program for first-time home buyers, but it's also a great loan program for anybody who's looking to move up or move into a different home. We all know it's very difficult to save up money for a down payment while you're paying rent on a current home. Well, why not make the USDA loan program work for you? It allows you to get into a home. It may not be your dream home. It may be your first home. It may be your second home. But it's allowing you to accomplish 2 things. By getting into a home, you're starting to acquire equity. Every time you make a monthly payment, so much is going to principal, so much is going to interest. So you're acquiring equity. Also, housing values start to appreciate. So you're acquiring equity that way. You live in the home for 3 or 4 years, then you might sell that house. You now have equity to go buy anywhere you want in this city or in a suburban community. So think about the USDA loan. Think about it for your children. Think about it for your friends and relatives. It may help them get into a home as well. This has been Bob Rankin, Northeast Funding, with Michelle Delgadio, Northeast Funding. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you real soon.